got the American Jesus. He outbuilt the president's estate.
Hey everyone, Church of STFU. So I don't often make videos on atheism or religion, but I'm gonna make an exception today because I saw a video response that I have something to say about. So this was a user called, I believe, Once Forgiven, Forever Free, something like that, responding to CultOfDusty. And CultOfDusty was bringing up Kirk Cameron's argument, or shall we say straw man, that where Kirk Cameron goes, well, atheists believe nothing created the universe, and yeah, that seems absurd, right? And then CultOfDusty goes and says, well, then that must mean that Christians believe nothing created God. And Once Forgiven, Forever Free seems to have had a problem with the last statement, because he stated, well, he's using the term nothing in the wrong sense. Actually, what we're saying is no thing created God, he's just existed forever. But of course, CultOfDusty was merely extending the straw man that Kirk Cameron was using, and used it against Kirk Cameron, against God. So if one is valid, the other is valid. If one is invalid, then the other is invalid. Alright? So if you're going to say that CultOfDusty's statement was false, then Kirk Cameron's was also false, and his statement was false. It was a straw man. So yeah, you can say, well, the universe existed forever, or God existed forever, because something must have somehow existed forever, it seems, right? That does seem to make sense. But so it's not true either to say that science believes that the universe was created out of nothing. There are hypotheses about how the universe came to be. Before, there was the hypothesis that the universe was cyclic. It collapsed and expanded and collapsed and expanded. Now most scientists believe that it's going to expand forever, which of course leads to the question, well, how did it come about in the first place? And there are hypotheses about that. Hypotheses in string theory, for example, that say that it might have something to do with like a higher dimensional I don't know whether you call it space or whatever, where universes are created in lower dimensions. And now we can't test that yet, but it's possible that it worked like that. It's possible that it was something completely different. Or it's still possible that the universe is cyclical and we just don't understand how yet. But yeah, no scientist says that that nothing created the universe. And the advantage that atheists do have is, whilst atheists have hypotheses, which are not just random hypotheses, there's still even string theory, which is way out there, is based on very complex mathematics that seem to just make too much sense to just be pie in the sky stuff. But no one knows yet. And we're happy to say that. We're all happy to say we are completely agnostic when it comes to how the universe started. What was, I guess, before the universe, although of course in our there was no time in the sense of time as it exists in our universe before the Big Bang. But we're happy to be totally agnostic about that. Whereas Christians aren't really happy to be agnostic about how the universe was created and what was before the universe. They want to insist that there was a God who created the universe. So I see that as the big difference. So I wouldn't have actually disagreed with the video if it had brought into question both Kirk Cameron's and CultOfDusty's assertion. Although, as I said, I believe CultOfDusty was basically just piggybacking and making fun of Kirk Cameron's assertion by showing that it applies equally to both. But if the video had been criticizing both equally, then I wouldn't have had a problem with that. But that's not the sense I got from the video. It made CultOfDusty look like he was just coming up with his own straw man, which is not the case. He is responding to a straw man that has been presented by Kirk Cameron and Venom Fang X, and it's been presented time and time again. And if that straw man works for one certain universe origin principle, then it works for another as well. Anyways, this was Church of STFU. I will see you guys all later.